Moving the magnets for Collingwood versus Adelaide this Saturday. Not long to go now. Massive clash. Looking forward to it. And we'll have the teams released tonight at 6:20. I know I've gone relatively early on the live. I wasn't sure what time I would be available. Initially, I had forecasted to schedule this stream to start at 5, and we do quite a long one and go beyond an hour and a half. A few things got in the way, pushed it forward to 6, and then sort of managed to get through the errands that needed to be completed, and here we are. So, have we got a countdown? Let's set up the countdown, because we need to do that. Give me one moment. Fly, g'day Metro. Fly, obviously mentioning, supposing or going through the permutations of whether we go small or tall. So if we go small with this weather, do you classify? I want you to guys who are in the chat already. Do you classify Charlie West as a small relative to Cox? So there's maybe Mason Cox. If West is to be granted that debut, do they drop Cox and bring in a Charlie West perhaps? So we are 57 minutes from time of the release of the teams. So that should be about right. You get Chad? Sigma, how are you, mate? Steve-O, welcome. 56 minutes till the teams are announced. Shane Price, welcome, says, concerned about our backline on Saturday without Darcy Moore and their tall timber up forward. Yeah, this has been a common theme, Shane. I noticed a lot of people are quite anxious going into this game, worrying about these three key tools, but it's got to get there first. And by the way, they've got some issues in their own defensive third that they need to worry about. They are susceptible defensively, and a susceptible defensive side coming up against the Collingwood Football Club with Jamie Elliott, Myercheck in there, Bobby Hill, like that's ominous for Adelaide as well. That's what I said in my match preview. The title of the video was the Crows back six should worry about our forward line, So that's sort of the angle I'm coming in at. Like, it's not all, we don't need to be thinking too worrisome about this. It's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good game. It's going to be a cracker. I don't mind the Saturday 1:10 sort of event time slot. So I'm looking forward to it. Benny, welcome. Yiga Chad says, hope West plays, but doesn't seem like it with how Fly spoke in the presser. You reckon? Look, he's managing a foot injury. We know that. He did mention that, and he took, he sort of had to manage his minutes in the VFL. Because I just rewatched the press conference back, and he said, whether we go small or do we go tall. So, like, I know West is still falls under the category as a key tall, but he's not key tall size like Mason Cox. He's not ruckman size. So do we just go a bit smaller there? Does Charlie West have what it takes to match the ground level battle? Metro says Jamie can play in the wet very well. Steve-O says it's going to be raining most of the day on Saturday. That will help us with their forward line for sure. Ella de Manny. Guys, you want to jump on Discord? We'll get Manny in. I'm sure Manny's chomping at the bit to have a chat. Is there any chance of a Will Hayes debut? Says Natalia. 100%, actually. His name hasn't been spoken about a great deal, but we know he's close. He's performing pretty well at VFL level. He's playing above the level, as Fly would allude to. So every chance. I'm just constantly checking the Twitter feed to see if there's any early news about a potential debut for anyone, but doesn't seem like that just yet. So we'll constantly keep that up to date. I'll jump into Discord. So guys, if you want to be a part of the show and want to have a chat on the show, join the Discord. The link is on the screen here. There we go. It's here. We'll go to the Pies Footy chat. Hey, Melissa, how you doing? I'm good. Thank you. You doing well? have you been to our training this week? And if so, how? Mate, I haven't been to preseason training. Sorry, I haven't been to Collingwood training since preseason. I can't do it. I've got full-time work commitments, unfortunately. I'd love to go. I don't know. I like keeping the space away from the club. I don't want to be fully married with the club. I don't want to be encroaching their spaces and posting videos on them on their training footage all the time. I felt like in the preseason it was warranted. It was reasonable because there's a lack of content. Whereas now we have no shortage of that. Like, I'm not dependent on what I don't need to go and see what's happening at the training ground to be able to generate conversation. That makes sense. And I think it's just, I just want to protect their space as well. Like, I don't want to be recording every single thing they're doing. This player's got a niggle. This player's not training. I don't want to do that week in, week out. Preseason, different story. In season, I mean, besides injuries and knowing who's training and who's not, you can't take much out of it. You can't say, oh, well, this guy's training exceptionally well during the season. It's just a completely different ball game. You take the in-season training with a grain of salt when it comes to the performances within the sessions. Okay, let's do this. So we go restart. Oh no, we're all good. All right, let's jump in. Manny's patiently waiting. Give me 1 second, Manny. I also need to put in for the people playing at home who haven't joined the Discord yet. Here we go. I actually need to check the Discord chat to see what's going on here. So there's the Discord link if you want to join and have a yarn. Manny is waiting patiently. We'll get to him in just one moment. Calm your farm, Manny. I know you're ready to go, mate. What's everyone saying here? Cool. It's been relatively premiership favourites for a reason. Statement made by the Pies is Elite Sups Eastland. Make sure you get your sups from Eastland. Eastland Elite Sups. Get your pickle juice. You reckon Maynard will play on Walker and will play Smalls as Don? Yeah, I think when we spoke about the backline formation going into this weekend, we didn't have Charlie Dean coming into the side. We pretty much, we're going small. We as a community agreed that we prefer to elect to go small. So go Maynard, Howe, and Billy Frampton rather than bringing in Charlie Dean and dropping someone else. Okay. Hello, Manny Costo.
Hello there, what are you doing there?
Fuck, mate. Where have you been?
Where you been, mate? You doubled down today, huh? You fucking cheeky little cutie. You doubled down today, huh? You done it on purpose. I saw the smile on your face, mate. You're a cheeky, mate.
I'm pulling your pubic hair, mate.
Yeah, you're thinking about me when you're saying that. I looked at the video, mate. What are you doing there? Doubling down?
Malaka, I don't make predictions. I'm just stating the facts.
Yeah, I know that. Wait till after the game. What are you going to make a new video afterwards? Oh, yeah, all the players that lost to Adelaide.
Hey, it's still a good record. 7-1. If my check loses, it's still a good record.
No, you're a funny cunt. You're a funny cunt. I was watching your video today. And I started getting pissed off. I said, "This bloke's gonna like Jussie."
This one's for you, mate. This one's for you.
What's going on, buddy?
Fuck, man. Just the usual. What is it? We're on Thursday night. Got a bit of footy tonight. Then we got.
Did you see the
Collingwood and Crows?
Did you see the fixture that come? Did you see the fixture that come out? You're gonna do a video on it.
Why don't we talk about it now? At the Yorkie.
Yeah,
give me 1 second. Let me pop it open. Let me pull up Collingwood's one, and we'll have a chat. And maybe I'll repurpose this.
Let me put you on mute on the big screen, huh?
Okay. Maybe we can repurpose this into a YouTube video. Let's see. Have they updated it? Let's see.
Yeah, it's on there. It's on there.
Okay.
I saw it.
All right.
Prom Tom everywhere. Prom Tom everywhere.
Bravo. All right. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, as we know, we have now got the fixture for the latter half of the season. I've got Manny with me, and we're just going to have a look, and I mean, it's just business as usual for the Pies, isn't it? It's just prime time after prime time, isn't it, Manny?
Prime time, except for the they put us on prime time against the Eagles today as well. Saturday night special.
No, Saturday night. You see, Saturday night for me is not prime time. If what's the other fixture
games
on that night? What's the other fixture on that night? Can you see it? Who's playing at the same time as us?
I haven't checked.
I'll check. I'll check for you, man. So Saturday, June 28th. Like that is just fitting in a shit fixture between a good side and a bad side. I'm not saying we're gonna lose, but I'm saying that's usually what they do. You know what I mean?
Oh, we've got a chance to rest our players. West Coast falls first. We can rest players, and then after that, a couple of weeks after that, we're playing Richmond. We can rest a couple more players because our last three games are hard ones again. We're doubling up against. I think we're doubling up against Brisbane, Hawthorn, and with someone else. I forgot who it was. We're doubling up against someone.
Yeah, but
the top 4 teams. Oh, Adelaide.
Don't be talking resting players though. You're gonna upset the community. You know they're gonna come at you.
What, for rest players? We've got no choice, mate. We've got that's near the end of the season. We've got an opportunity to rest players. Why not rest them?
What round
we're
is that?
We're playing Eagles
round
and we're
16.
playing Richmond. Why not rest a few players, man?
So we go from round 15, which is Collingwood St Kilda Saturday night, and then the following round is what we're talking about now, is Collingwood versus the Eagles. Gemeta, after that, we've got a big game going into a 6-day break against Carlton on a Friday night.
Yeah, then we've got another 5-day break.
Yeah.
Near the end, if you check, we've got a 5-day break, right, leading into Hawthorn as well. They feel screwed us.
Did they give us a Thursday
Carlton's
or something?
Fixture.
What'd they give us? Let's see. Collingwood.
They gave us 5-day break into Hawthorn again.
Oh, that's after the. So we got Adelaide this week, then we got North Melbourne next, and then following that's a 6-day break going into Hawthorn. But you're talking about the next one. Yeah, round 22.
The second game against Hawthorn, we're coming in off a 5-day break, right, against another top 4 contender.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm looking at round 21, Collingwood versus Brisbane, Saturday night, MCG, straight into the Thursday against Hawthorn. Hopefully by then, though, Manny, at the very least, we've got top 4 sewn up by then. That's what I'm hoping. Top 2 is important, and form is important. And I'm not preempting that it's going to be okay to drop games, but if there's a game that you drop, it's after a 5-day break against a very competitive or a premiership fancy in Hawthorn. You take that, don't you?
Oh, we'll take it as long as we make top 4. But the problem is we don't want to travel. We don't want to travel for top 4, right? If Brisbane's up there and Gold Coast is up there, right? We might have to travel first week. We don't want to travel. We want to be top 2, mate.
Hey, we travel well, but.
Yeah, I know, but we and not against finals, mate. Like last time with Sydney, we don't want to. Hey, we don't want to have to travel. You know what I mean,
mate? You don't have to remind me about
our
Sydney.
fixture's hard, mate. We've got a hard fixture. We've got a hard fixture, mate. Go look at Carlton's fixture. They're playing North Melbourne and West Coast again in a couple of weeks.
So
and they've already played them.
Don't worry about them, man. They're shit kickers. They're just front runners. They're just making they're just making the numbers, bro. Don't worry about them. We don't speak about them.
Kickers, mate.
So let's have a look at Hawthorn because I want to know what do they have leading into that game against Collingwood. They have a 6-day break. They play no, never mind. Hold on, bear with me. Here we are. They're coming from Adelaide Oval against Adelaide. They get that's a 6-day break. So it's a 6-day versus a 5-day break. Plus they have to travel from a Friday night. Yeah, it's still odds are still against us when it comes to that fixture. But like I said, it wouldn't be the worst result to drop. In an ideal world, we just win every game. You know.
Oh, as long as we don't get any major injuries. As long as we don't get any major injuries, because those games are going to be tough. They're going to be hard games. So as long as we don't get any injuries, we'll be fine.
Yeah. So then following that, Manny, we've got, after the Hawthorn game in round 22, We get the 8-day break going into a Saturday against Adelaide in Adelaide. Now, talk about fuck.
They're
What is
playing
it?
them again in Adelaide, and they're better now. So and we're playing Fremantle twice as well.
Yes. Yeah, so we'll go through that as well
Playing
because
Fremantle.
the other biggest note from this release of fixture is the Gold Coast game on a Friday night, July 11th.
Yeah, you wonder where that is again. Again, we're the money makers. They put us in. They put us in Gold Coast. Yeah, again, another top 4 side. So that's what I'm saying to you. Our last few weeks are rock solid, but that's good. You know why? Because it gets us prompt for finals.
Yeah, look, that's true, and I've never understood. There's obviously a bit of talk of Media Street about how Collingwood will have X amount of games at the G leading into the final series, but nobody wants to talk about how difficult our fixture was to start off with in the first place.
Yeah, Kane Corns, the maggot. Didn't you hear what he said the other day? Kane Corns.
I didn't say his name. I can't believe
Collingwood fixture.
I didn't say his name. You did.
I'll tell you a story.
Ella.
You know when whoever watch it for the people in chat, right? I'll tell you about Kane Corns, right?
Go on.
Or everything he says, right? It's all bullshit. You know why? Because he lives up the road from me, right, in Glenelg.
Yeah.
One day I walked into a restaurant, right? And he was there with his missus and his kids, right? And his missus, right? She put it on him, right, over something. And if you saw how he put his head down and shit himself, right? He was so scared that like a little baby. All this act that he puts on the media, it's all an act, mate. I've seen him in action. I've driven past him on the Esplanade here at Brighton. He's running on the footpath there, right?
Yeah.
I've hammered him and abused him about Collingwood,
right?
And he shit himself.
Right.
Yeah, I know exactly where he is. He lives in Glenelg. Up the road. Yeah. So don't worry about it. All this tough talk on footy shows with Kane, right? It's all crap.
It's all for the left arm, man. It's for the money. What do you expect? What do you want him to do?
Yeah,
selling out. He's selling out.
Who are we bringing in? We don't need Dean tonight. We don't need Dean on Saturday. What's Dean gonna do there? Seriously, what's he gonna do there?
We'll go small. What's he gonna do?
Win us the game?
We'll play with Howe, Maynard, and Frampton, your mate.
Yeah, Houston plays tall as well. Houston can play tall as well.
Houston can intercept, and he must have some sort of one-on-one ability. Quaynor's probably going to have a funky matchup. He might see Rankin at times. He might see Fogarty. Who knows what Quaynor ends up lining up with?
Don't forget those couple handballs, those 2-3 handballs out of defence in the wet, right? And then we open up the field in front. We can open up the field, right? Our full 50's open. I reckon we'll give it to them. Yeah. Since when does Adelaide travel well? All of a sudden now, people are talking about Adelaide like they don't even travel well there.
Yeah. Well, let's show them. Let's show them that they don't travel well on Saturday, rather than talk about it.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
By the way,
let the others get on.
That Gold Coast game is during the school holidays as well, so they've timed that perfectly. It'll be a. I reckon there'll be a fair few amount of Collingwood fans there.
I wonder why. Without Collingwood, right? Without Collingwood, they feel fuck all there. We are the AFL, man.
We are the
right?
AFL.
But we've lost our last two against Gold Coast up there.
Fuck. You know what? I was
a couple of years ago we used to play him.
Fuck. Could you imagine a Collingwood Gold Coast grand final this year?
Yeah, it'll be fucking 90,000 Collingwood supporters and 1,000 Gold Coast supporters.
And where's the other 8,000 come from? The MCC plebs?
Yeah, MCC plebs, corporates, or the corporate malaki.
Like you,
yeah,
bro.
but I don't think. I don't think Gold Coast will make it there. They haven't played finals before. They've got to experience finals footy first before they make granny. It's very hard to make a granny without playing finals.
They've got John Noble, though. He's played finals.
John Nobley's playing all right, huh?
John Noblopoulos. Yanni
Nobley,
Noblopoulos.
Nobley, mate. He's still kicking the ball out on the floor a couple of times, but he played it right last week.
I said when I see that, I said that's my noble. That's my noble man. When I see that,
Yeah, that's what he does. He's got to keep the ball out of bounds once a game.
Yeah.
That's critical. All right, bro. We'll see what happens. Saturday, let's go. What's your tip?
No tips, mate. Just fucking win, Gamoto. Just do the job, bro.
Collingwood, 35 points.
Ella.
Collingwood, 35 points. We're going to give it to him. Don't worry. Yeah.
Yeah, take care.
Yes.
Yeah. That is a Manny. John Nobelopoulos is what we're saying, Badri. John Nobelopoulos. We add a bit of the Greek to it. You know what I mean? Any updates on X regarding potential? Ed Richards signs a 5-year deal at the Bulldogs. Well, won't be coming to Collingwood anytime soon then, will he? Good for him. Hold hands with Adam Treloar, our old mate. But nothing really on the X forums with regards to who may or may not be playing / debuting. So that's that. Guys, if anyone wants to have a chat, by the way, in Discord, you're more than welcome. I'm in here by myself. I know, Hazza. I hope you guys pick up a bit of the Greek lingo, even just like when I'm in dialogue with people in Discord, I can sort of, as we become more familiar with each other, I can start to use words and terms that I sort of just use in my general day-to-day life with other mates and stuff. So that's where it gets fun, when we start to understand everyone's like banter. Obviously, some of it's Greek. What I try to do is if I say something in Greek, I'll make sure I try and repeat it in English so you guys understand what I'm saying. Mark Neville says, no Charlie West again this week. Pies have made a big error this week in not selecting West. Lipinski, Quain or Houston have been poor for too long. Mark Neville, always pessimistic, mate. Every comment on every video and every live stream from you, Mark, negative. You'd think we're 2-7, not 7-2. What's your angle? What angle are you coming at, Mark? Is Manny back in? Hey.
Hello there.
Hey.
Hello, Mike. I thought you had people waiting there.
No, that pussy, it was just you.
Oh, you should have told me there. That's why I got off. I thought you want to hold people up.
You know, I thought you were.
You want to be a hog, man. You want to be a hog. What are you doing there, Malaka?
Bro, I'll tell you when there's other people waiting. I'll tell you. If you don't hear anything, just assume that it's just me and you, bro.
Oh, that's why I got off. I don't want to be a hog, man. I don't want to disrespect the others.
Nah, mate. I would say people like to hear from you, so you don't rush yourself, mate.
What's the? I'll check the weather. I checked the weather in Melbourne before. They reckon 10 mils.
Is it still Halia?
It's gonna be. Yeah, Halia. 10 mils on Saturday. 10 mils of rain. I reckon we play right in the rain. They can't execute the skills in the wet there. Don't worry.
Fuck. What about Dawson? We haven't spoken about Dawson much. What's the go with Jordan Dawson?
What's he gonna do there?
You got any intel on him? You have any PIs on him or what?
I see him all the time there. They're trying to.
Bro, your best mates with everyone. Cornsey, fucking.
Listen,
Phil Thorpe. Now Dawson.
They train right. They train 1.5 kilometers away from me at West Lakes there.
Yeah.
I live in Seaton, another suburb. They're right up the road. I see them all the time.
What are they doing?
Got Rochetti. They train with the old footy park was. They not the old footy park.
Nah, man. Fucking Adelaide's a dump to me, bro.
Before the Adelaide Oval, remember where they used to play a football park. Before the Adelaide Oval, we're talking about 10 years ago there.
Mate, Amy Stadium.
No, where they used to play AFL games there. Adelaide Crows and Port Power. Well, they used to put the black tarps over the seats. Remember? Footy Park, before the Adelaide Oval, before they moved to the Adelaide Oval. Did you watch Collingwood play Crows on TV when they're playing at Footy Park?
I watched was it Jack Anthony when he kicked that goal?
Yeah, Footy Park.
Don't know, bro. Don't know.
Yeah, that's where they train. They've knocked the stadium down. They've knocked the
So
stand down.
do they
the
do
stands
open
down now.
training?
There's no open training. They built out. It's like a park now, like Collingwood.
So,
They've built houses around there.
so
New
anyone can
development
go.
area. Yeah, you can watch. You can just pull up and watch.
Have you gone to
They
suss
don't
them out?
train like that. Huh?
Have you gone to suss them out or what?
Yeah, I drive past all the time there. You can see them jumping in their cars and stuff. Right, but I go to the shopping centre. There's a Westlake shop. It's called the Westlake Shopping Centre, right across the road from the Oval, and they're always there having coffees and stuff.
Melissa says Manny, that was in West Lakes. Footy Park was
Yeah,
known
but
as
Westlake,
Amy
yeah.
Stadium. I'm right. You're wrong. I'm right. Footy Park is known
What
as
do you
Amy
mean, Amy
Stadium,
Stadium?
bro.
Yeah, but before Amy Stadium, get on Google. What was it called? Football Park, Westlakes.
Manny, I'm 97 born. When was that? When was Footy Park? Footy Park.
Oh, you're 97 there. You know what I'm 79 there. I'm 45, buddy.
Yeah, that's
I'm an old man now, mate.
That's all
I'm
right.
getting arthritis now, buddy. Listen there. They know me there. They know I'm a Collingwood supporter as well. Because I
Really?
walked past with my scarf one day. Yeah, they know we've got the wood over them. I tell them when I walk past them, I say, boys, huh? What does it feel like to beat Collingwood? Hey, you got no idea, huh?
I don't know.
9 years now.
Most of them
I don't
wouldn't
know, mate. We're the bunnies, mate. Like I said to you, they know they've got to play their best. For them to beat us, right?
Yeah.
They've got to play their best footy. They've got to play their best footy, right? If they don't play their best footy against us and we play our best footy, right, they're 10% chance of beating us at the MCG. I heard Keys on. I was talking to Adres last night. No, a couple nights ago. I heard Keys on Keysy on 360.
Yeah. What do you say?
He was talking about the game, and I was sussing him out, listening to him. And he said it. He said it's a hostile crowd, right? It's hostile. The crowd's hostile there, right? And also they know that for them to beat us, they've got to play their best.
So he looked nervous. Does he believe that they're going to play their best footy from what you're sussing out?
No, he said they've got to play their best, right? But there's one thing saying you've got to play your best. There's another thing doing it. You know what I mean? If we let them play their best, right, and we give them too much time and space, they'll give it to us. But if we put the pressure on, right, and we play our footy, they got no chance, buddy. They went to Fremantle and copped it, eh?
Yeah. Oh, we'll find out Saturday. Question from the chat. We seen Champion Data. I forgot who said it, but someone said that Nick Dacos was Matt Lee. Did you see? Apparently, Champion Data has Nick Dacos as a 10th worst kick in the comp. What have you? What have you think about that?
Because when I think about that, Champion Data's the biggest malakia, right, in AFL history. What a stupid fucking question.
You know what they do,
right?
Manny? They fail to recognise that Nick Dacos has 3 butt sniffers on him fucking all game.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say there.
Sniffing his Macedonian ass.
When you got someone on your back scrounging and pulling your shirt, right, and carrying on and not letting you play football, right? That's what's going to happen. Your kicks aren't going to be perfect. But let him go back let him go back to last year when he wasn't getting his tagged as much, right? And his kicks were ruthless there. What about the kicks he was pulling inside 50? Ruthless kicks, mate. Yeah. He's got too much. They're tagging him now, mate. And that's what I said. The coach has to tell the umpires, right? The umpires are out training. The umpires were out training this week. He's got to tell the umpires, look after Nick. We can't have Nick running. We can't be putting Nick in the forward line. Right, well, we need him in the midfield. That's what teams want us to do.
Teams want us. Who cares about numbers? We have eyes. Perfect, huh?
Exactly. We don't need stats mean nothing. As I said to you, you can have a million inside 50s, right? If those inside 50s don't become a goal, right, they're worthless.
What's the point?
What's the point? Even stats today. All these stats and all these, it's all what do you call it? Perfection, right? And how you move the ball. You can move the ball up the field in 3 kicks, and you score a goal.
That's it, bro. That's it. Forget about the numbers. It's all malakia. It's a nice little cushion
And our
look
game
at.
style doesn't. Our game style our game style is not about numbers. There, we play a different game style, right? We play dirty ball, and we move the ball in a different way. You know what I mean?
Look. I will say, Manny, our game style this year looks pretty on the numbers, but it's good to know that we can do it again in a different way. Like Fremantle, we had 30 inside 50s, they had 60. We got killed in pretty much every statistic domain, but we still found a way to win, like 22 and like 23. Catalavenis.
Yeah, that's efficient. That was the forward 50 entries. The forward 50 entries, they were real precise. We're hitting targets inside 50. We went long bombing the ball like the week before. I don't know who we lost to. Who did we lose to again? We lost to someone. But yeah, Geelong.
Well, the first half we statistically looked very good, and then the second half, well, really it was it came down to Dangerfield. He skissed us in the fourth quarter, man. That's it.
And I've noticed we usually do that. We usually do that long ball, Malakia, right? When we're building up the ball slowly, right? But if it's a fast break from the back half, right, and all our forwards are open, we don't do that long bomb. And also when Cox is resting forward, for some reason they see Coxie down there, right, and that's when the long bombs start.
Yeah.
He gets held as well there. Coxie gets held. If you watch Coxie, right, the amount of times they got one arm, right, and they're pulling him back, right, it's ridiculous, man. That's not footy.
Well, it's so obvious because when you see Mason Cox jump for an aerial contest and he comes up with one arm, where's his other arm?
Exactly. Who's going to be an 8 foot tall bloke there jumping for the footy with two arms up? It makes no sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's not picking his nuts with his other hand. Somebody else is groping his other hand.
Yeah, they're holding it down straight. They don't hold it outwards so the umpire can see it, right? Because if they hold it, if they pull it outwards, the umpire can see it, right? But they hold his hand, they pull his arm downwards, right towards their body, so the umps can't see it. They put their body in front. But then they're missing trips there. Cosy Pickett in front of in the forward 50 square, right? They can't pay them. You think they're going to pay free kick stars?
True.
They can't even stop a game for Lockie Shields today. It's been a drama with all these malakias.
So I've intentionally danced around that subject because I do feel like it's been blown out of proportion. Without me sharing my opinion, what's your view on it all?
I got blasted on a chat on a chat channel, right? Because when Laura Kane was first appointed, right, I said on the channel, right, that not because she's a woman, right, because she's not qualified for the job. Ever since she's come into the game's gone to shit. Not the aesthetics of the game, right? The way the game's played and how good it is, right? But all the rules, right, and all the other crap that's going on. The buck stops with her. The buck stops with Laura Kane. If there's problems, she's the footy boss, right? If there's problems in the AFL, she has to cop the pain. She has to cop the what do you call it?
Yeah, look, man. I won't get into the politics of it. I want to stick to the specifics of it, Manny. Talking about the incident itself and how it was managed. What are your thoughts on that?
The umpire saw it, right? The umpire saw it. They were talking about it on that recording, right? They saw what happened to Schultzy. They said, no, he's fine. The ball's on the other side. We're not going to stop it, right? Yeah. But then the AFL come out and lied to us. They lied to us and said that the umpires didn't see the incident. That's when it all started.
Yeah.
That's how it started, right? But then the audio come out, the day after the audio come out, right? And the AFL had lied to us, right? And then they had to backpedal, right? And say, no.
Manny, you're killing me, bro. You're going to kill me with right-itis. Too many rights there, Malaka.
Then they backpedaled and said the umpires didn't tell them anything, right? But then the audio come out and they got stitched up again.
So they stitch themselves up. And look,
Yeah.
the easy fix for me, or the outcome of this, it's 1 + 1 = 2. Okay, in the moment, they made the wrong call. All right, done. They didn't admit it, then they got caught out. Okay, what's the solution? Make these fucking yellow people make them
You know,
full
what the
time.
solution is?
Make them full time.
Either make them full time or pay, right? You got all these ex-football players, right, getting on drugs, right, having mental breakdowns after football because they don't know where to go and what to do, right? Go pay some ex-footballers that know the game. They know what a holding. Hey, listen. You know what pisses me off? How the hell, right? Can 90,000 spectators from 50 meters away, right, call for holding the ball and they got it right, and you got one umpire on the field, right, doesn't call it. Makes no sense there. The crowd goes up and calls ball. When you hear that ball noise, right, the crowd knows what's happened, but the umpire doesn't pay it. And it's like me now. If I saw you riding your bike on the sidewalk and you stacked it and you got knocked out, your hands were up in the air, what do you think I'll do? You think I'll walk straight past you? I'll stop and check up on you. That's why if the umpires see a player on the ground with his arms up like that, which they saw him, the recording said they saw him. Right now, he's fine. They were saying, right? As soon as you see someone knocked out, doesn't matter what's going on, you just blow the whistle and stop the game.
Look, they missed it, man. Look, they fucked up. They need to make this a full-time job, and it's as simple as that. And then we can judge them. We can be critical of them when they're fulfilling a full-time. They're fulfilling the role on a full-time basis.
They get paid $100,000 a year. They get paid $100,000 a year now, part-time.
How many days?
Well, huh?
What's part-time? What does part-time even mean in the AFL world?
Well, probably two days a week. They go to training. They probably go to training 2 days a week, right in game time on the weekends, and then they travel as well. So they get motel rooms paid for them, right? Probably free food paid for them, and travel and everything else on top. And if they get a sore back from bouncing the ball, they'll probably claim for compensation as well. Okay?
Maybe that's why they want to make them go full-time. They don't want them...
I can't understand in the 80s, right, and 90s when I used to watch football, right? And there was one umpire. There was only one umpire, and I never saw any mistakes. It boggles the mind. I never saw any mistakes. I never complained about the umpiring. There was one umpire on the field. Right, one umpire in white. He used to wear white, right? Now you got 4 umpires, and they can't make a call.
You think that would have solved it a couple of years back when we brought in that extra umpire, whenever it was? Now it's just like it seems like there's confusion. Nobody wants to make the call.
They're tackling players. Players are getting tackled with the ball, right? They fall on the ground. They hold the ball. The ball hits the ground. And then they get back on their knees and they handball the ball away. Right? It's ridiculous, man.
Yep.
It's fucking ridiculous, man.
Any updates on Twitter? Let's see. Nothing. Nothing. No updates. What do you... Ed Richards locked in for the Bulldogs till 2030. All the best to him, huh?
Yeah, gun. He's a gun, mate. Yeah, left footer, gun opens the play up.
I think
looks like if he's signed on.
Yeah, he's probably one of the highest rated players this year.
Yeah, killer kick on him. Left footer, killer. Yeah, he opens the field up. Left footers, they can open the field up. They can kick on angles, some sort of. They get this angle, right? And they can open the like Josh. Josh is a good left foot as well. If you watch Josh, he's got 2 feet.
Yeah, he's got left and right. Sometimes you don't even know what foot Josh is. He's like side bottom.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, he's good, he's got a more penetrating kick than Sidey. Sidey's got more of that loopy one, but Josh has got more penetrating one. But yeah, Josh can kick on both feet. I've seen Nick do it as well, but Nick's more right foot.
Bro, isn't this crazy? Hey, listen to this, yeah? We have, and this is when you know stats just don't matter. We have one player inside the top 50 highest rated players according to champion data. From 1 to 50, Manny,
Yeah,
who is that player and where is he ranked out of the 50?
What, of our players?
So I'll repeat myself. So I'm looking at the top 50 players in the league according to champion data. Yeah? How many Collingwood players are in there? Well, I've already answered that. I said there's only one Collingwood player in champion data's top 50 right now. Who is that player and what rank are they?
Probably side bottom. It has to be side bottom.
I just want to make sure I'm not missing. Someone said Jamie Elliott. Jamie Elliott, it's not there. It's Nick Dacos.
Because he's only kicking goals.
It's Nick
Because
Dacos.
he's only kicking goals.
It's Nick Dacos. He's number 50. Number 50.
Oh, really?
I'm pretty sure that's what I'm seeing here.
Makes no sense. You know why? How can you have players, right, on the coaches votes award, right, on the leaderboard, like Nick and Sidey, right, and then not have any players in the top 50 of champion data? Makes no sense, mate. That's why I don't believe in champion data, bro.
I'll share the screen. I want
and how
you
can you
guys
have
to
champion
see this.
data? They come up with all these stats. Oh, number 1 in attack, number 2 in defense, right? Number 3 in the inside 50s. Mate, most of the other clubs have played the worst teams. Unless you play every team the same or the same amount of times, right? The data means nothing.
Yeah.
It's all skewed, mate. It's all skewed. It's not real data, mate.
Look at this, Malakias, bro. Look at this. This is Halia, mate. Look, Gita. Let's look at the top 10. Ed Richards, Brayshaw, Sherry. Like, you got players from Port Adelaide. I mean, this guy's he's only played one game, so that sort of doesn't really matter. But outside of that, what have you got? You've got Libba gun, Bontempelli gun, Richards gun, fair enough. Millard, Anderson gun, Gorn gun. I mean, they're all good players, don't get me wrong, but then who's above?
Where's Bontempelli? Where's Bontempelli?
Are you having Bailey? Bontempelli's number 5 at the moment.
Oh, he's number 5. All right, so how is Bontempelli number 5 there? When he's missed 5 games of football at the start of the season? How? Makes no sense there. When are they taking the stats from? Well, the last 2 games.
Teresa's asking, Sidebottom was ranked top 25 before the Freo game. Yeah, he would have dropped significantly because he only played 60% of the game. If we go have a look here, his player rating would have been...
So that means they're doing this.
He was one. Look, his rating was so low, he would have dropped very quickly. The champion data fluctuates very quickly as well. Look, 0.4. Like before that,
yep.
He's averaging.
They pick the All Australian team off most of the players off of champion data as well.
Oh, look, let it be, man. Let it be. It is what it is. It's a system. It's a reference point. That's that's all it is. It's a reference point. But the thing that I can't fathom is how on earth there's only one Collingwood player in the top 50 of champion data. Where's Jamie Elliott? Where's Darcy Cameron? Where's Darcy Cameron?
That's what I'm saying. It's the way they do their stats, man. They do this. It's all ridiculous. It's weird stats, bro. It's weird stats, man. Hey, you know what? If we've only got one player in the top 50 in Collingwood, right? Just imagine how many. Just imagine when they start documenting our players. Probably it doesn't make sense, mate. It just doesn't make sense, man.
The link to this Sino Swooper is wheeloratings.com if you guys want to dive into it. Can you see my screen, Manny?
Yeah, I can see you. Hold on. I just pause you. You just delayed it. You delayed a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it now.
That's just where we're at. So Nick Dacos is our highest rated player, and he just falls into the top 50. Is ridiculous.
Yeah, I can see it.
I'd argue Nick Dacos, Darcy Cameron, and Jamie Elliott should all, at the very least, be in a top 50. The fact that Darcy Cameron, how is Darcy Cameron not in the top 50? But then you have
how's Pendlebury? How's Pendlebury not?
One second. But you've got Tristan Sherry, Max Gawn. Any other ruckman? Luke Jackson, Tom De Koning, Toby Nankervis, Lloyd Meek, Sam Draper before Darcy Cameron. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, and you got Darcy Cameron smacked. And Darcy Cameron smacked TDK around when we played against Carlton, and they still got TDK over Cameron. That's what I'm saying to you, man. Right? It doesn't make sense to me. That's why I don't listen to it, man.
That is really that's taking.
Hey, you know who the smartest person alive is, right? Is that David Hoyne? That David Hoyne bloke. He invented champion data.
Yeah.
You know what he done? He fooled the AFL. He went to the AFL and he said, "You know what? I can take all the stats. Give me $5 million a year, right? And I'll get all the stats for you." And he ruled them.
Let me run you the numbers. Mate. Yeah, let me run you the numbers. Where's Pendlebury? Digsby's wanting to know where Pendlebury is. He would be lucky to be top 100 because you got to bear in mind he started as a sub in one game. He's come off as a sub in others. Let's have a look. So what's his time on ground in these games so far? Give me 1 second. Time on ground. So he only played 28% of the Port Adelaide game, 75s. It's a relatively low time on ground. I mean, what's the average time on ground for the top players in the league? 80. Yeah, 75 is probably not going to give you enough time on ground to imprint yourself. And he's not here to run the numbers and pump them up anymore. He's here to be efficient. Look at his last, bro. Look at his 1, 2. He's if he has another high disposal game, he'll be averaging close to 26, 27 disposals at the age of 37. And what he's doing with those disposals are elite.
You know how I know they're performing? It's because of the age. If they weren't performing, all the media pundits, they'll be writing stories about them 24/7. Because they're not writing stories about them, that's how I know they're performing.
Listen, they got Jordan Dawson.
They still can't say Jordan Dawson's done nothing, man.
But Jordan Dawson
done nothing, man.
No. Jordan Dawson is outside of the top 50. But if we look at coaches' votes, hold on. The coaches' votes is where it matters, in my opinion.
That's what I'm saying to you.
Coaches' votes?
Yes.
Dawson is third.
That's what I'm saying to you. That's because the coaches are watching the game properly. The champion data, it's all data. It makes no sense, bro, because teams have played weaker opponents and they're getting more of the ball. You know what I mean?
I mean, Darcy Cameron's only got 11
We've played good opponents as well. We've played good opponents. We've played top 8 opponents, right? So our players aren't getting the ball as much. You look at the Carlton players; they've played North Melbourne and the West Coast. All the teams that have played North Melbourne and West Coast and Richmond, they're up higher because they've all played those teams and they've thumped them.
I think Mick makes a good point. They give too much importance to taps, hit-outs to advantage for rucks. Most of the time, it's not to advantage or to a player that gets tackled. Darcy Cameron does well with his clearances. He does well with his intercept marks in our back half, which makes us a very hard side to break down defensively. And somehow he's nowhere near in the champion data. He's only got 11 coaches' votes. It's like this guy is severely underrated in many different realms when it comes to the stats, the coaches' votes.
If you had to pick from one ruckman in the league right now, right? With performance and age, who are you picking?
Well, if it's not Tom De Koning, it's Darcy Cameron. Age. Oh, Max Gawn is good as well. Sherry's good as well. They're all great.
Age. I said that's what I put age in there for. That's what I put age in there.
Age. What do you mean age? Do less age. Do less age. What do you mean age, though?
How old they are. How old the ruckman is? Age?
So are you saying, like, if you pick them, you're going to have them for as long as their career lasts? Is that what you're saying?
No, how old they are now? How much time they got left in the game?
Yeah.
And their performance up to date.
Well,
Their performance up to date. So who would you take now out of all the ruckmen in the league?
Tristan Sherry's 26. How old's the Conning? Where is he? Where is he? Bueno. Is he not? Does he not get coaches' votes?
The Conning.
He's 26
He's 24,
as well.
I think.
Ooh. I think I will go. I'd go Tom de Koning. Just over Sherry.
Well, I'd go Cameron instantly, without even thinking about it. Cameron, our ruck.
Yeah, but he's 31. 30 or 31 this year, man.
No, he's not.
He is, bro.
Cameron, Dusty Cameron?
Yeah.
Ned, are you crazy or what?
He's 30 this year, bro.
He's 24, 26 today.
Bro, you need to stop smoking whatever you're smoking at home because he's 30 this year, bro.
How the fuck did he get that old that quick? That means we picked him up when he was 20.
Malaka,
we picked him up when he was 25.
We got him for a bag of chips from the Sydney Swans. He hadn't played a game.
Well, he must have been in the reserves for 4 or 5 years then.
Correct. That's why it's one of the great trade steals to the day.
Old? He's that old, huh?
He's 30 in July, man. He's 30 in July. 3 under. Old man like you.
Oh, and I was worried about him leaving, going back to Western Australia. I thought he was only 25, 26.
Mate, I wish he was. Like Teresa says, we wish he was 26. Maybe he'll play till he's 37.
I don't think he'll be able to play till he's 37. Different role. He'll play for another 3-4 years.
Yeah. Well, look at Max Gawn. How old's Max Gawn? Have a guess.
Yeah, Max Gawn's 32.
Nah, he's 34 this year.
Max Gawn. Oh, he's got 2 more years left on his contract as well.
You're in a time warp.
He's got a contract.
You're in a time warp. You've lost your head.
No, he's got 2 more years on his contract. Gawn's got 2 more years on his contract.
Yeah,
he just got a 3-year contract last year.
Your kafala, it's gone, mate. It's gone.
But I thought Dusty Cameron was younger than that. He looks younger than that.
No. You reckon? Do you reckon Darcy Cameron? Cameron looks younger than 30? I think he looks bang on 30. To be honest.
Oh, hopefully we've got some rucks coming in underneath him. Uluru and the other one, Steen.
Uluru, Steen. But who's said Darcy Cameron can do this to his 35, 36? Like Rangatank says in the chat, Goldstein's been doing okay. He's been more than serviceable.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, they play for longer these days.
Hey, how's the water in Adelaide? How's the water in Adelaide? It's all good? You can have it from the tap?
Listen. Melbourne arrogant Melbourne people, right?
Yeah.
What do you think Adelaide is? A little town. It's a city there.
How's the water?
It's a city, bro. We've got the best beaches here. Water's spotless, mate. The air here. You know how good the quality of the air is. There's not traffic like in Melbourne, right? Melbourne. When I used to come there, the amount of traffic and how far everything was, it was ridiculous, mate. Here, I could jump in the car and I can go into the city, right? And it'll take me 15 minutes. Then from the city, right, I can jump back in the car and cruise to the best beaches, right? The best beaches in 15 minutes flat. I can go up south in 25, 30 minutes. I can go to the Barossa Valley in 45, 50 minutes. Everything's close by.
Don't worry, bro. You don't have to sell the dream of Adelaide. No one's interested. What we want to know is Braden Maynard has been announced as the captain for this weekend, apparently, according to Chris.
Yeah, they've done floss. They're doing what do you call it?
They're going to have
rock paper, scissors.
Chat. Yeah.
No, they're rock, paper, scissors, he said.
Oh, really?
Rock, paper, scissors.
He
Yeah,
said.
that's
He
what he
said.
said
He
on
said
the.
that. He said in
That's
the
what he said
chat.
on the.
No, they said. They said he was. They said he was going to chat about.
No, he
He's
said
going
they were.
to. They said Nick Dacos was going to go back again, but he still speaks to the captain and see what they want to do.
No, yeah, he says he's going to speak to the leadership group.
Yeah.
Right, but last time he said they played rock paper scissors.
Last time.
That's how Nick got it.
Oh goodness!
But I reckon it was bullshit. I reckon.
Boom is in the chat, but I just realised we're about to announce the teams, Boomer. I don't know if I'm gonna have time, Boomer. Manny, I got to get you off. I'm gonna bring on Boomer for a couple of minutes, and then we're gonna do the teams. All right?
Yeah, mate.
Yeah.
Everybody. Yeah,
mate.
Oh yeah.
Boomer.
I was thinking you hadn't noticed. I was almost. Hello.
Sorry, mate. I
Can you hear
literally
me?
just checked Discord and I seen your name was there waiting patiently just then.
I was almost going to jump in, mate. Just a quickie. I'll make it quick because the teams are coming up, like you said.
Yeah.
You guys were talking about the end of the season before, but the game's coming up. The next block of 4 is kind of good for us. We've got what is it? Well, obviously Adelaide, which is very winnable because it's at the G. Then we've got North Melbourne, super winnable. We won't talk about last time. Then who's after that? I think it's Hawthorn. That's a biggie.
Friday
Then
night.
we've got Melbourne. Then it's the bye.
Yep.
Yeah. So
and then Saints and the Eagles
but the
after
gaps
the bye
in the
as
games,
well.
but just up till the bye, I didn't see any 5-day gaps. I actually saw 6-day gaps. But then they've kind of fucked it up a little bit. Okay, that's just the thing is the next 4 games is a very winnable block up until the bye. We could actually have all 4 of those games if we're good enough, and I'm looking forward to that, mate. I reckon we should do it. That's where we aim high and fucking go hard. But you guys were talking about a lack of Collingwood players in the top 50. Now, I'm going to upload a video into the Discord about a guy who described our team defence and how we work, where we've got 6 guys at 45-degree angles, 3 guys on each angle, from the opposition player who's got the mark. And it shows you how our team defence works and why it's fucking the opposition and why they're not scoring against us. It's a very good video and it's worth watching, and he did it on the Fremantle game.
Who is it? First use?
Hey?
It's the first use guy, isn't it? Yeah?
I think it is first use. Yeah, you've seen it, have you?
You know that guy, I forget his name, but he was a ruckman for Melbourne. He's an AFL player, ex-AFL player.
Well, he definitely knows his shit, man, because the way he described our 3 men on the line at 45 degrees and the way it fucks everyone up, I just think it's worth everyone seeing it. But when it's like that, this is why people are saying Quaynor is useless and Lipinski's or whatever. They don't get the stat for being part of the zone that's choking the opposition. And this is why people love to be critical on players, but why you can't say, like people were saying Lipper's useless, and I was kind of thinking that too. But then you pointed out how many miles he does during a game and how hard he runs. And yeah, the guys are holding up a zone. They don't get the stats. Who gives a fuck? The one stat that matters, mate, and that's the points at the end of the game. And we're winning those fucking 7 times. We've had more. That's all that matters in my book.
Mm-hmm. And the teams are in as well, Boomer. Stick around, Boomer. Stay in. So, Maynard in, Myercheck in, Scott Pendlebury in, out, Darcy Moore, Lockie Schultz out, Markov out. So, Ed Allen survives, even with Pendlebury in. What do you think, Boomer? Oh, you've muted yourself.
Oh, sorry. I'm muted just to let you talk there.
No, you go ahead.
Well, look, Brazzers coming in to replace Darcy Moore, so that's kind of good. That's evening off there. I think our defence will hold up, and Markov survived. That I really thought he was going to be a sacrifice, but that's probably to offset Schultz being missing.
Oh, you mean
Allen?
Allen?
Right?
You mean Allen survived? Yeah, not Markov.
Oh, hang on. Sorry, can you tell me that? Who are the outs again?
Darcy Moore, Lockie Schultz, Oleg Markov out.
Oh, sorry. I thought Markov. Okay, so Markov didn't survive.
No.
And so Brazzers come in and Pendles, and who's the other?
Braz, Pendles, and Myercheck.
Oh, okay. Well, I reckon they're all pretty healthy ends. I will go back to that game last year, though, against Gold Coast, where we had those Pendles, Myercheck, DeGoey, and someone else, 4 or 5 players come back in, and we lost. So that can sometimes be a double-edged sword, bringing in good new players.
So how far off were we
But I'm
here?
thinking it's good. Hey, I tell you what, who's better is Andreas has just turned up, and he's probably better for this sort of assessment than I am. I'm more your big strategy talker. Andreas is brilliant with this player-on-player
Oh, here
stuff.
he
So
is.
I'll relinquish the mic to Andreas, and you two can chat.
All right.
Cheers, Andreas. Love your work, mate, and it's all over to you now.
Thank you.
Thanks, Boom.
Cheers,
Andreas,
bro. Thanks a
welcome.
lot. There you go, mate.
Good. I'm just looking. Can you see on my screen? I'm just looking at our predicted 23 from the other day. We got Markov wrong. We did say like this could happen. It could be Allen or Markov. They end up going for Markov. Do you like that? The fact that Allen survives with Pendlebury back in the side?
Yeah, I don't mind it. Similar sort of player out of the midfield, bit of that bursting speed. So we probably need that. I'm glad Sullivan stayed in.
Yeah.
Obviously with De Goey out, you sort of need him, but it's better that he does stay in, and because he hasn't really put a foot wrong, which is good. So that's what you want. Bruzzy captain on the weekend, which
Love
is really
that.
good.
We love that.
And there is a slight rumour going out that Collingwood have offered him a 4-year deal, and it's in his hand now. So from what I've been hearing,
is that going to
we've
be enough?
offered him a 4-year deal. So, well, put it this way: I think if another team comes up, and not just North Melbourne, if somebody else comes up with a multi-million-dollar deal over 5 years, then Collingwood won't match it. Simple as that. But him being captain, we've offered him a deal. I reckon he'll stay.
Yeah. Do you think? In your I haven't seen your preview, but would you want an Ed Allen as a sub and give Lockie Sullivan the keys to start again because he's been performing well?
Well, my preview's going to come out later tonight. I haven't filmed it yet.
Okay.
I was just waiting for the teams and stuff so I can mention that. But what was the question? Sorry, the last part.
So you've got Ed Allen and Lockie Sullivan on the bench.
Yep.
I'm assuming you'd want to hope that Lockie Sullivan gets the nod ahead to start. He's been playing well.
Yeah, I don't think Sullivan's going to be a sub. I would be surprised if he was. I think it'll be more along the lines of an Ed Allen, potentially a Will Hoskin-Elliott, along the lines of that now that Markov's not in. So we'll see how we go, but most likely you'd probably be leaning towards Ed Allen being a sub with Pendles and stuff back too. So, yeah.
They're pretty happy with Will Parker and Charlie Dean being emergencies as well as Di Mattia. I'm surprised there's no TJ there yet. Or what do you think?
Well, TJ had a really good game in the twos. I forgot how many disposals he got, but he had a really good game. Di Mattia had 20 odd, so he's obviously slowly starting to push, which is good. But it's good to have these guys sort of push around that midfield sort of space with Tom Mitchell obviously coming back as well. So yeah, it's a good problem to have, mate. Like I tell you. This time last year, we were digging for midfielders, we were digging for forwards, digging for backmen, trying to work out dual position players and all this type of crap. And this year, we've got that. We've got the dual position players and stuff like that, but we sort of don't need them to play in that secondary role that they can play. We've got players that are just going to come in and step in. So regardless of the result this week, it's a fantastic problem to have. But with that being said, this is an 8-point game. If we beat Adelaide this week, we lock ourselves 2 games and a healthy percentage locked into the top 4. So really, it's on us to stuff it up from there. You know what I mean? We don't have to rely on other results and all this type of crap. But just quickly, it's going to be a mad battle, our defence versus their forwards. I think our forwards have got their defence covered quite easily on the weekend, regardless of the weather. I'm just their forward line's going to be pretty dangerous. So if our backs are switched on and our mids as well, and we stop the delivery clear into players like Phil Thorpe and then you've got the young ones like Rochelle and then Rankin doing his thing and stuff. If we can stop the midfield delivery into that and really limit their access on the forward half of the ground, we're in a really good position. So I do hope it rains a little bit and it is wet. That suits us 10 times more than them. And they're a big body team as well. So if we can play the ground contest really well, I reckon we'll be okay. And we've got some good mids that are back in this week that are freshened up. So really, it's the only way that we're going to lose this game is if we stuff it up ourselves. Because even if Adelaide play well, I reckon we're able to stop them.
It's on us. It's on us. That's a well comprehensive, well thought preview. So you said you're posting that tonight as well, right? You're gonna dive a bit deeper
Yeah, I'll
into
do
it.
my preview tonight. Once the kids go to bed and I've got a spare fucking 10 minutes of my life, man, I'll sit there and smash out the preview. But I'm looking forward to this game. I think if we do win this game too, it sends a bit more of a deeper message to the competition. Like, we're not here to stuff around. We're not here to fill up the numbers of the top four. This age sort of debate can really piss off now, I think, if we win this game.
Mhm.
The narrative changes, though, pretty badly if we lose. So, and after the Fremantle game, you really want to back it up because we've had a 9-day break, I think it is now. So,
Thursday
or
to
more
Saturday.
now. So we should be able to be pretty fresh and attack it quite well. But it's just going to be really interesting, the stoppages. I'm really excited to see how we manage the stoppages against Adelaide because they've got a decent midfield. So if we can, have like the McCreary's and, even whoever's playing on the half back line at times, like your Houstons or whatever it is, push up into the contest and become that, fifth or sixth midfielder in there, and we get those dinky hand passes out. And then you've just got a plethora of guns running, the Dacos boys, Houston, even Quainer and stuff like that, just streaming through the middle or on the outside, Lipinski as well. We can get that delivery straight into the forward line properly from the midfield. There's no reason why we can't just put heaps of scoreboard pressure on them. If we put the scoreboard pressure on them early at home too, we're going to be quite comfortable. But that being said, you don't want to have the first 10 to 12 minutes like we did against Fremantle where we're a bit stagnant. We haven't got our hands on the ball as much and stuff like that. So that's what I'm a little bit worried about. But if we can control their use of the ball and their delivery into the forward line, especially around the stoppages, those shit little hand passes out, if we can do that instead of them, I think we're in for a pretty good afternoon at the G.
I think two things that we want to have the microscope on, or one thing more importantly, is the those slow starts. The last couple of weeks, we've conceded, like you said, we conceded 3 goals against Freo. We conceded 3 goals against Geelong. And I love how you mentioned when you look at Bobby Hill and Jamie Elliott when they push up into the stoppage, you wonder how they get out the back so much because they get lost in that contest and find themselves on the back end of a goal out the back. So we love to see that.
That's it. And too, we're going to have some big men in the forward line as well. So if Cox is obviously playing deep into the forward line, doing his thing, and if he doesn't take the mark and he brings it to ground, we're going to have those crumbers there, like just at his feet. The key is in that, though, we're going to make sure they don't get the cheap little fucking dinky kicks over the top that Geelong got against us. Like, that's going to be the killer as well. But we're going to make sure that, you really do build that wall and you cement it into the forward line, with that forward line pressure. Schultz out is a big out for us because the pressure he was putting on last week before he got knocked out was phenomenal. So we're really going to have to, guys like McCreary and, even the Dacos boys, like in that sense, have really got to put a lot of pressure on their midfielders to try and lock it in. So, our forward 1 and our forward 2 line with their D1 and D2 really gets, it's sort of counteracting each other and we're able to lock it in there quite well. But it's going to be interesting. This is a good test for us. And then the fact that it's at home too really helps us out.
That's it. Can't wait. You going to be there?
Yeah, I'll be there sitting in the members. I'll be getting soaking wet if it rains, freezing my ass off, but it is what it is, mate. So the rest of the fixture came out tonight, which I was a bit disappointed that we didn't get more day games, but it is what it is, mate. I'll go overseas, I'll come back, and then from a European summer, and then go back to the G, freeze my ass off, mate, and that's what footy's about. I can't fucking wait.
That's what we live for, mate. Thanks for jumping on, bro. As always, love it.
No worries, bro. Have a good one. Preview's up tonight. Make sure you check it out.
Subscribe to Black and White United. I'll share the link now. Give me 1 second. He's nearly at 1,000, I believe. Last time I had a look. Let me have a look. Black and White United. Collingwood. Search that up. Where are we?
Hello, everybody, and welcome.
He's got 914 subscribers. If you want another perspective on the Collingwood Football Club and everything else in between, Andreas, the great man, that is his channel. There it is. Sub. If you like his stuff, sub. But yeah, outside of that, guys, I think I'm going to leave it at that. We've got some Thursday night footy to look forward to, so I'll be priming myself for that for the next hour. And we'll see you. We're going to do a VFL watch along. We're going to watch Tom Mitchell. We're going to watch Will Hayes. We're going to watch Charlie West. Hopefully Joel Cochran is back. I don't know if the ins have come out for the VFL, but there'll be a lot of players that we want to keep